Why does ownership matter to you? Why does steward ownership matter? Why are you here? We are all here because we know ownership matters. It matters to each of us from a different perspective, a different angle. We all have a different story. But we all know that a different form of business and entrepreneurship is possible. So with this, I welcome you all to the Steward Ownership Conference, the SO25. My name is Maike Kauffmann, and I'm very excited to be able to lead you through this day today on behalf of the Purpose Group and the Foundation for Steward Ownership. And I'm so happy to see you all. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, for taking time out of your busy schedules, for giving that whole day and your energy to Steward Ownership. Particularly in these rapidly changing times, we all have so many different things on our mind, so it's more important than ever for you to be here. We're here to talk about steward ownership. And when we talk about steward ownership, we talk about a concrete entrepreneurial and legal model for so many of your companies. But at the same time, we also talk about changing the interplay between money and power, about challenging the common notion of corporate ownership, and about the possibility of a different form of entrepreneurship and business. And this discussion around corporate ownership is getting more relevant and more popular today. Newspapers all over the world are talking about freeing Ben & Jerry's from Unilever. Experts are grappling with the question of what's the most appropriate ownership structure for artificial intelligence companies like OpenAI that are changing all of our lives. Companies like Patagonia transitioning into steward ownership inspire thousands of entrepreneurs to look into the model for themselves. Novo Nordisk, one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world and one of the long-standing frontrunners of steward ownership, keeps on shaping the market with their innovation. And even one of the most prestigious fashion brands in the world, Armani, is considering steward ownership for their own succession model. Isn't this amazing? I think it's so great that we're here. There's really a vibrant and active discussion going on around corporate ownership, and steward ownership is gaining in popularity every day. And this is great, but it also brings a lot of potential for misunderstandings, for the dilution of the concept. And this is why it's so important to connect again and again to the core ideas and stories behind the model. And this is what we're here for. Today is all about steward ownership in practice and the potential it holds for people, planet, and society. The morning of the conference, we're going to start with a full morning of the question, why does ownership matter for companies, for its stakeholders? And what does it need for companies to bring steward ownership to life? The afternoon of the conference will be revolving around the bigger picture of our economy and society and the role that ownership and steward ownership plays in that. In between, we have workshops to dive in deeper, ask your questions, and connect with each other. There's a lot of room for connections, for getting to know each other and tell your stories. Because steward ownership needs people bringing it to life. It lives from you as individuals. And many of you bring it to life every day by transitioning your companies in it, living the model, investing in it, researching it, supporting it in any way. So we have all these different perspectives in the room, and we are really happy about that, to kind of get the different angles from steward ownership here. We know that some of you are just getting to know the model of steward ownership, while others might have been working with it for years or even decades. And we have a lot of different cultural and regional backgrounds in the room. So let's get started to get kind of a grasp of who's in the room to get to know each other. In a second, I'd like to ask you to stand up when I call the region that you are coming from and give us a short wave. So, who is joining us here from Berlin? Woo! Thanks to everyone from Berlin for having us here. I'm also not from here. Who is joining us from Germany but outside of Berlin? Oh, so many people. Awesome. And I know that so many of you travel from all over Europe. So who is coming from another European country? Woo! And then I know that there's a select few that are actually coming from outside of Europe and have traveled really far. So please, everyone from outside of Europe standing up. Woo! We know that Berlin is really far for many people, and we know that not everyone was able to join us just due to the travel or other schedules. So thanks also to everyone joining us digitally today. Nice to have you here as well. We are looking forward to spending the whole day with you, and we really hope that you can make this conference your own, and you really can use it to make connections, ask your questions, and build relationships with each other. So please just use this event to tell your own stories, because the stories we tell literally make the world. And our world is in need of more stories about the positive power of entrepreneurship, about different forms of corporate ownership, and stories of courage and hope.